Hi everybody, Buzzsaw Gaming here, bringing you my top 5 Sega Dreamcast games. Over there is my little buddy, Mr. Buzzsaw, and fellow Sega Dreamcast enthusiast himself. Anyways, this console, absolutely wonderful. I love the Sega Dreamcast. It's such an interesting console. So unique. Oh, in the background, before I forget, is playing the haunted music of D2, survival horror game. Absolutely wonderful on the Sega Dreamcast. Now this obviously marks an end of an era. The end of the Sega, end of the Sega Dreamcast. End of an era, a massive era. Very sad. Too bad Sega still, isn't making hardware. They had an amazing run. They had some issues, obviously. And yeah, this was their final console. It kind of reminds me like the Atari Jaguar, like that was their final console. I like to collect final consoles. And also these kind of, semi-underground / underrated consoles. So that's why I like the Sega Dreamcast. That's what drew me to it. I really like the games. It was very unique. Just a small library, but completely unique. Oh, there goes Mr. Buzzsaw knocking over the VMU. I'm not at that part yet. Anyways, as far as the console itself, I have the Sega Dreamcast Sports Edition, which is the black one right here. I really like it. I like it better than the off-white original color. Over there is the controller. I know a lot of people give it a hard time, but I really like the controller. You got to imagine this is late 90s. So this is, we're coming off of N64 and all that. So this is a great controller. I really liked it. And really revolutionary was the VMU right there on the floor that Mr. Buzzsaw knocked down. Just have the ability to have your game saves there. And also it has little mini games in it. Just such a cool concept. Something that was completely unique. Completely interesting. People are trying to innovate at that time. The Sega Dreamcast makes a funny noise when it's, playing the media, the CD media. But you know what? That was common at that time. Like in the late 90s. It reminds me of like an old, old 386DX computer, which is making that, funny scratchy noise when it starts up. So it's reminiscent of that. It's the end of an era. Over there, I have the Sega Dreamcast travel case. I don't have it complete in box, but I really like the travel cases for different systems. And this is the official one for Sega Dreamcast. It's really neat. I think it's actually my favorite travel case. It's really cool. It fits in just perfectly with all the accessories. The 2 controllers can fit in there. All the attachments. VMUs, can throw in a couple games. It's really nice. Now, as far as my history with Sega Dreamcast, during that time, I was with, N64. I knew about PS1. And Sega kind of fell off the map for me. After Genesis, I didn't even know about the Sega Saturn. I didn't know it existed. And then Sega Dreamcast, I really knew about it when it was closing time, when they were liquidating them for $49.99. That's when I found out about them, really. And yeah, for $49.99, and you can access the internet at that time, which is a really good deal compared to spending $1,500 on a computer to do something like that. I think even today there's people accessing the internet for fun with a Sega Dreamcast. So yeah, it's a really awesome system. I like the games. I like Sega because it's arcadey, and it's totally different than Nintendo. Has a different vibe. It's quirky, and that's what I really like about it. Now going into my picks here. Seaman. This is an honorable mention right here. This is such an unusual game. This is probably one of the most unusual games ever. In there I have a complete in box Seaman with the microphone attachment, so you can talk to your Seaman creature. So it's a pet simulator. And he talks back in quirky ways. Very fun, a lot of attitude, very cool. So Absolutely love it. That's my honorable mention, number 1. And my second honorable mention is D2, which is currently playing right now. The survival horror game. Of course, you're flying in an airplane, you crash in a mountainside, and what happens? The zombie apocalypse. Oh, and there goes Mr. Buzzsaw. He's gone for today. He'll roam around now. Anyways, yeah, D2. It's a 4-disc game. Unbelievable. I mean, remember back in the day when you had to change discs? Well, this has 4 of them. So, totally awesome game. Absolutely love it. Love that haunting, creepy music. Oh, Mr. Buzzsaw's out. He's heading for the hills now. Anyways, into my top 5. Number 5, Egg. Elemental Gimmick Gear. I mean, this is pure Dreamcast. It's just so unusual, such a funky game. I mean, it's a RPG light type game, I would say. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. You're in this weird like mech robot, just in this unusual world. It's just so weird. I mean, they just don't make games that are this unusual anymore, and that's what I really like about Sega Dreamcast. I really appreciate that time in history. I mean, in general, the whole 6th generation for me is like really the end of gaming almost. I mean, I like modern gaming, but for me, it's like the really retro stuff is the really old stuff, like 3rd, 4th, even 5th generation, and then 6 is kind of like almost a mix between retro and modern, and that's kind of as far as I go. I do have a PS4, but most of my collection is 6th generation or older, and I just appreciate these kind of games. Number 4, Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. This is a nice hack and slash game. I mean, you have this ginormous, just ridiculously oversized sword, and you go around and just whacking monsters. I mean, so much fun, so much creativity. Such a cool game. I mean, just epitomize the Sega Dreamcast. Absolutely love it. Completely interesting. I mean, just unusual. Just that experience that you don't get in other places anymore. So, absolutely love it. So cool. Number 3. Skies of Arcadia, another RPG, kind of a light RPG. I'm not a big RPG guy, but the lighter ones that are kind of more interactive, I do like. And Skies of Arcadia is really cool. I mean, basically, like Sky Pirates, something like that. These flying ships. It's just absolutely beautiful. Really cool game, cool story, lots of fun. I mean, amazing. I absolutely love it. Skies of Arcadia, it's got really cool graphics. I know there's also a version on the GameCube as well, which is a little bit updated. I've never played it. I just have the original right here on the Sega Dreamcast. Number 2, Virtua Tennis. Now you might think, why is a tennis game number 2? I mean, it's only tennis, right? Well, this is really cool. I mean, it has a caption of the pro tennis players, at that time period. The mechanics are really good. I mean, it was the first time that we really saw a tennis game that, actually looked like it was real tennis. And it's just the mechanics of it is really good. I mean, to this day, this holds up. It's an inexpensive game. It's, it's a lot of fun. Absolutely love it. Virtua Tennis. And not only that, but I mean, you could also throw in there like the NFL 2K series is really cool. Stuff like that. I mean, Sega just, they brought back their sports properties. Like back in the day with the Genesis, they had so many good sports games. Kind of missed out at the, Sega Saturn. Sports titles are not the greatest, but in Dreamcast, they're absolutely awesome. So, Virtua Tennis right here. My number 2 pick for Sega Dreamcast. And number 1. Crazy Taxi. I mean, this game is, like the name says, it's crazy. It's absolutely off the wall. It's got a great soundtrack. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just goofy, just this fun arcade style of game that I come to appreciate from Dreamcast. Absolutely love it. It's just so much fun to just pop in and, you know, play for 20 minutes and, you know, just have a good time. It's like absolutely ridiculous. You're, you know, picking up passengers and just breaking every rule to drive them as fast as possible. Completely ridiculous. So absolutely love it. My number one pick. Anyways, that is my top 5 and 2 honorable mentions for Sega Dreamcast. Maybe comment below, like, what are some of your favorite Sega Dreamcast games? What do you like? You know, this is my opinion, obviously, so yours probably differs than mine. Oh, look at that. There's that nice opening again. And also, if you made it this far in the video, just put a lizard emoji. I'm always impressed by how many people make it to the end. And I really appreciate all your comments and likes and shares and all, and subscribes. It's you know, it's fun doing these videos. It's fun doing it with Mr. Buzzsaw. He took off right now. But anyways, appreciate all that. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.